What's up, everybody? This is Dark Macek with Brutally Delicious, coming at you with a review of Iconic's brand new album, Second Skin. So, rather than giving a brief biographical sketch, I went into this album kind of cold. There's a story there I'll get to, and I want to reveal to you how it is that I found out what this band is as I heard it. So, jumping into that first track, there's immediately a great classic vibe. I can tell that it's been recorded recently. This isn't a remaster, but it sounds like a mix between like mid-aughts US power metal in terms of just how energetic it is, and there's some double bass drumming, but it's also very anthemic and reminds me a whole lot of Whitesnake. It's a very odd pairing, but I think it works. When the second track, Ready for Your Love, kicks in, the Whitesnake vibes are definitely much stronger here. Very strong 80s hairband vibes, but still sounding modern. The only thing that's a little bit off is that these solos are way too kick-ass for a band of that era. Reb Beach from Winger is phenomenal. And I mean, obviously, Nuno Betancourt, there are some, but this sounds way too holy shit for a hairband. Around the time the title track kicks in, I'm really asking myself, is this a supergroup? And that's when it hits me that I have heard of this band before. This band has Joel Hoekstra on lead guitar. I want to disclose right now that I have taken lessons from him in the past, so there might be something of an implicit bias in this review. From the beginning, I thought that the drums were thunderous and exciting without overplaying, and that's what I remember. This has Tommy Aldridge on drums. So already you got two members of Whitesnake. It explains a whole lot. Rounding it out, we have Michael Sweet, Nathan James, and Marco Mendoza. Solid. Moving on with the songs. Nowhere to Run has a really standout chorus. I think this is the first one I'd heard beforehand. I think it was the single. What can I say? I'm a big sucker for 80s big chorus vibes. That said, to me, the standout of the entire album was Worlds Apart. I think this is a beautiful ballad. It's very well written. It's not nearly as generic as most of the era that they're going for. That said, because it does have the modern vibe, it reminded me a little bit of the Pretty Maids' Will You Still Kiss Me If You See Me in Heaven. It's just way more sophisticated than that one is. Other highlights include the song This Way. I wound up asking myself, is this a ballad band? And is this song even a ballad? It's definitely a love song. I'm not really sure how to categorize this, but it really stood out and I loved it. And last but not least, the album closer, Enough of Your Love, was a great rockin' way to close out the album. I know that this band, or at least two-fifths of them, are really busy this year with Whitesnake's farewell tour. That said, I'm really hoping this outfit gets to go on tour. Maybe they'll open up for Whitesnake or Stryper, or one of their respective bands. But these songs need to be played live, and I would love to hear them. Thanks, guys. Rock on. Great work.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.